Welcome back. So, this week we have two major things happening in this video. Firstly, we visit my friend Glen in Wellington and check out his project. So, between Glen and his mates Kyle and Luke, they've made quite possibly the world's first fully 3D printed motorcycle engine, but more on that next. Secondly, we have what's next. I mean, this is finished. What am I making next? I'll cover that after we check out Glen's project, although it is highly inspired by Glen's project. So it will be a multi-cylinder two-stroke, which is going to be awesome. And lastly, as a bonus, this thing, it's going on a dyno this week. So that will be awesome. Now, leave a comment. How much horsepower do you think we are going to make? Is it 5, 6, 7, 12? Who knows? Leave a comment and let me know. How much power do you think it is going to make? So I'm here with my mate Glen, and he's got a pretty interesting project on the go. So I'm going to get him to tell you a little bit about it.
Hey guys, yeah, my name's Glen. It's a little two-stroke twin that me and a couple of other mates, Kyle and Luke, have been working on. Combining a bunch of parts, just some of it's because it's what we had lying around, and others just because it's cheap and easy to get these days. So we've got a Yamaha FZR 250 gearbox, which have a really nice close ratio box, which is quite suitable. And then we're using Derby 50cc cylinders and crankshafts. And then probably the most interesting part about this project is the crankcases are 3D printed aluminium, which is quite unique. Certainly haven't been able to find examples of crankcases that have been 3D printed before.
Yeah, so one of the main questions people probably have is why did you 3D print the crankcase instead of, say, sand casting or machining from billet?
Curiosity, honestly, is the main reason for going down the 3D printed route. It's sort of just really interesting and an application of the technology that I haven't been able to find. And yes, it's a test bed for some other future projects that we've got sort of in the pipelines, and I wanted to see whether 3D printing would be a viable option. Here's the chassis that we're building to put the two-stroke twin engine into. It's a full custom trellis tubular chassis, whatever you want to call, but loosely based off a Suzuki Gixxer 150. So the swing arm, shock, front forks and wheels, everything are from a Gixxer 150, and just change the geometry a bit to suit the tracks that we ride, and yeah, it's starting to come together.
So this is another interesting bike that Glen's been working on. You can see it on his channel. It is the world's, well, supposedly, most powerful 100cc engine. It allegedly makes 57 horsepower. I don't know if that's measured at the piston ring or the rear wheel, but it is getting nice and close. It is a intercooled, turbocharged, well, you can see the little turbo down there, 4-stroke. This was a 4-cylinder motor, and then it's been cut in half to meet the class rules. So if you want to see more about this as well, Glen's done a bit of a build series on it, so check it out on his channel. And there's the same thing there, but non-turbo. And this is where I would like to thank today's video sponsor, JLC CNC. So you don't need to have a CNC mill and a lathe like me to take on projects like this. All you need is some free CAD software like Fusion or Onshape, and then you can design your parts and send your files off for an instant quote. From there you can confirm the shipping, any tolerances, finishing details, threads, anodizing, you name it, confirm it all, pay for it, and then you will have your parts, in my case, in about a week. I've used JLC CNC's services multiple times and I've always been happy with the result. Most recently, I have had JLC manufacture some fork lowers for one of my motorcycles, and they did an amazing job. The anodizing was superb. So a big thanks to JLC CNC. So Glen was kind enough to share with me his scans of the cylinders and step files for the crankshafts. So over there, under the cupboard, I have a Yamaha R15 engine. So the next project is going to be a tandem twin 100cc two-stroke with rotary valves and water-cooled cases. That is like the holy grail of racing two-strokes. Now, you're probably going to have a few questions. So, the V4. What's happening with the V4? Well, it's happening. I've got the entire parts list. I actually have all of the parts, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I'm thinking I do this two-stroke tandem twin before then, as it'll teach me what I don't know. I haven't made a two-stroke yet, and I haven't really made anything high performance. There's also the other side, which is I like bucket racing, and I want a kick-ass bike that can win races easily, especially as the track I race at is one of the faster bucket tracks in the country. Here is the proposition. Now, I've been making this thing for the better part of the last year. The whole idea was to make something really cool, get my name out there, get some content, and make, the design. With this next engine, there's no money drive behind it. I just want a race bike, a two-stroke, 40 plus horsepower mini Grand Prix bike. So what I'm envisioning is showing you reverse engineering the R15, so getting all of the gearbox dimensions, showing you how I'm going to place all the cranks out, work out the center distances for the timing gears, design the rotary valve to use off-the-shelf crankshafts, and all that jazz. So it didn't happen with this motor because I didn't want to share all the IP, the intellectual property. So the plan is to share everything. Now, the proposition, what do you want to see? Leave a comment. Do you want to see it cast, or do you want it machined from billet? I mean, casting, I've got Scotty at Abcast. He does an awesome job. I can make some match plate patterns, show you how to make the patterns, and then get them cast. Cheap. I could do it pretty quickly, and I get unlimited attempts if I make a mistake during machining. Option B, billet. Do I make this engine from a piece of billet? It'll be awesome. It'll look cool, be shiny. I've never done it before. My mill might be a little bit slow for this, who knows. But with option B, I can use JLC to make one half of the engine. I can machine the other half from billet, and we can place them together. So let me know in the comments, what do you want to see? A billet engine or a cast engine? And I'll take you through the steps.